Hey guys, it's your favorite pipeline nurse practitioner. I wanted to kind of go over an interesting case that I've been working up recently. I have a coal miner. He's climbing in and out of the tunnels, and he had sudden onset numbness and tingling in the last two fingers on his left hand. He said he didn't have it before. He went to bed, he woke up, he hasn't been able to feel those two fingers for the last year. And he also said that his grasp in his whole hand is weak. So when it's a whole hand problem, my first thought is your neck. If you have a pinched nerve in your neck, it goes, generally you have pain and symptoms the whole way down your arm, but sometimes it can just cause weakness in that arm and numbness or tingling. But he didn't have any neck pain. He didn't have any neck stiffness. He didn't have any of that stuff. So my next thought is you work your way down when you have hand symptoms. So the next major joint that usually has a problem is his elbow. And so I know that the nerve that runs over your funny bone, that tunnel that it goes into, sometimes that can get pinched off from injury or arthritis, and that's called Cubital Tunnel syndrome. And so that nerve runs down here and it controls the nerves here. So that's what I thought first. But that doesn't explain why these fingers were weak. So then I worked my way down. So then you get to the wrist. So when you're looking at your wrist, you can have ulnar tunnel, which is the outside. This nerve gets pinched over here. Or carpal tunnel, which you often hear about, and that's here. And oftentimes that's pain here that goes up into your hand. And that's usually these three fingers. You get weakness, numbness, tingling in those. So what I did was I x-rayed his neck, his elbow, and his wrist. As you can imagine, he had arthritis everywhere, but his neck really wasn't bad. He had pretty significant arthritis in his elbow and in his wrist. So I sent him for an EMG. An EMG is where they put needles in your hand and they test your nerves. And it turns out he had cubital tunnel syndrome for that ulnar nerve here, like I thought. But he also had carpal tunnel, which is this nerve here that controls these. So he actually had two things going on. So I'm treating him with anti-inflammatories. He should avoid bending his elbow and his wrist, which as a minor, not really going to happen. You want to splint it at night if you can. Wear a wrist splint so everything stays straight. And really, because he's having weakness and it's been going on for over a year, I'm sending him to ortho. Because if you leave those nerves pinched for too long, you're not getting back what you lost. It can be permanent. So I put him on meloxicam, an anti-inflammatory, told him about the splinting, and he's heading over to ortho. Maybe they'll just try to inject him first, but I call it the rotor-rooter. What they go in there is they open that little tunnel that's pinching that nerve, and oftentimes that's enough to provide relief. Carpal tunnel syndrome is a little bit more involved, but it's much better than it used to be. So anyway, more orthopedic and muscle stuff for you guys, because I know you all have something. Thanks for listening.